Whenever you're ready, we can edit it.
Yeah.
All right.
Groovy.
Welcome back, everybody.
All right.
Got my buddy Thomas here today. Thomas is gonna run an intro on who he is, what he does, etc. We're gonna see if we can help together.
Yeah.
So, who are you? What do you do?
Yeah.
Just run it down.
I want to say thank you for helping me. Thank you for having me on. One thing I want to just kind of point out real quick that I like is that we're like sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
I feel that at least for me, right? Whenever like I'm talking to someone, subconsciously I think you're sitting across from the table. It's a little bit too formal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sitting next to someone, it's more like a it's
really,
good.
really
It's a
informal
good
vibe.
vibe. It's
Hell
a very
yeah.
good vibe. Yeah. So
I wish that we had another camera set up from up top and we had a big piece of paper.
That'd be cool.
Some creators that do like Simon Squibb and Alex Ramosi, they have this like entire like big ass piece of paper and they just like write everything down. But today, we're gonna be writing a little bit of things on the whiteboard probably, more talking as well, and then we're gonna have all the summaries and bullet points as well. I'm actually gonna record this conversation, and then use Maxim's Whisper to transcribe and summarize everything.
Awesome.
So talk with Thomas. So yeah.
Groovy.
All right.
Awesome. Yeah. So
Who are you and what do you do?
All right, so I'm Thomas. I am the entrepreneur, the creator of Virtus, going to be the best fitness app. I've been working on it really hard for about 5 months, but I mean, listen, you guys don't care about that because obviously the app isn't out. And what I firmly believe is, what's more important? Is it the idea or the person? And I really think it's the person. I don't care what ideas you have. Everyone has ideas. Everyone has a brain. You can come up with any idea you want. I don't care. It's about the work you're willing to put in and what you're willing to sacrifice. And a little bit about myself. Honestly, I didn't grow up from a family that was really financially literate. So I mean, from a young age, I was trying to figure out like why my parents struggle financially.
Yeah.
It's a very big thing. And obviously, I think a big honestly moment for me, a big wake up call. A lot of entrepreneurs say this is. And I haven't told you this either. I think one of the biggest wake up calls was I was in middle school and my mom got diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer.
Sorry.
And around I think it was 6th grade, and I just watched how much my parents struggled with not only obviously how my mom was suffering, but looking how we needed so much help from my community, which obviously strengthened my bond with people who wouldn't help me. But what I think to myself is financially they struggled so much. Like I didn't realize until a lot later, I think as we often do when we grow up out of our youth, is you pick up on things you wouldn't have picked up on, like the fact that every night someone would cook dinner for us and we get food for us. Now I think back on that and I'm like, it was because we couldn't afford food.
Yeah.
And I realize that now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a deep thing to think like, wow, not only how much someone has to suffer, but also when they're with the right people, they're gonna help support you. But I mean, anyways, being that young and not to get too sidetracked, thinking to myself, I don't want to ever see anyone I care about suffer. And thinking, well, obviously, how can I live a beautiful life? And I thought, well, in a way, pain is beauty. I have to focus. I have to find some way to ensure that if anything ever happens, I don't have to worry, at least financially.
Yeah.
Right. And then from there, I think, more about myself. I think my story and who I am now, because that was when I was obviously a lot younger.
Yeah.
Is kind of just growing up. I think kind of what cements a lot of people. Freud is huge on that. Right on, what do we experience? How does it affect us as children? How does it shape us as people? And growing up always being a little different. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I think it was more of a blessing than it was a curse. Because you like you suffer a decent bit when you're the odd kid.
Yeah,
you're not the fastest. I was a fat kid.
Yeah.
Right. You're trying to impress. The
You're
huzz in middle school.
You're just low kid in class who stacks the chairs the slowest and everything.
Oh, of course, dude. You know it.
That was a social status, the good old days.
Oh yeah, the good old days. Yeah.
It's funny that we're 19 and 20 saying that. The good old days, as if we're like 45 and everything.
My God, yeah,
Some
dude.
people watching this are gonna be like 30, 40, 50, looking back at their school days, and it's gonna be really, really different.
Oh, for sure.
So how did you transform, I guess, the kind of suffering and complications that you've had in your life into becoming the entrepreneur and the person that you are today?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was, finding that one thing that was tangible. Because I knew that I worked so hard, like this being dyslexic, to work hard, stay up really late, and get good grades. And I knew that I worked really hard to, understand how can I fit in, right? How can I fit in?
Yeah.
But I realized I need to find something where this sheer willpower that I have that's just burning inside of me, that I can actually see something tangible. And for me, that was wrestling. Honest to God, because when I stepped on that mat, I'll never forget his name, Francois. He kicked the shit out of me. He was a senior. I was a little tiny itty bitty freshman. I was still a little chubby. He kicked the shit out of me. And I remember thinking to myself, I am stronger than you, just not yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Mental thing.
I always thought to myself, there's kids who I'm going to wrestle on the mat who have better grades than me, who maybe their family life is a little bit better than mine. But what my thought is when I'm on the mat is I don't care what the fuck happens to me. And everyone can attest this on my wrestling team. If you reach out to them, they will 100% say, Thomas, never give up.
Yeah.
Even when I'm on my back, even when, I'm hurt to the most degree, I'm going to give it my all. Because my thought is I want to crush my opponent entirely.
Yeah.
Because in a way I want to prove that I'm worthy. Yeah. Right? Because you may have better grades, like I said, you may have better whatever. At the end of the day, it was genuinely seeing too that how much that just pure willpower, how it translated over, and how it really gave me that sense of confidence in myself. And what obviously later happened to me, just kind of challenging myself more and understanding that Thomas, if you're able to kick the shit out of that guy, you can then maybe get your Eagle Scout. If you can get your Eagle Scout, then you can start learning about investing. If you don't like what investing,
skill stacking.
Exactly. That's I love that.
Stacking.
I love that. So if that answers your question, I know I kind of ran a lot too.
Yeah. I think it proves a lot that a lot of the it's funny because business is exactly the same. It's if you don't have the internal drive and motivation to prove something from an internal perspective, you are eventually going to burn out because you're constantly looking at the exterior factors of satisfaction, of gratification, of being able to be like, oh, I want to make this amount of money, or this is my end goal, and it's super tangible, and business unfortunately is a very long game. It's like a game of years, decades, lifetimes. And so you're not going to be able to attain that or work through your toughest days if that's your only drive. And so what you need to be doing is having the internal fire, the internal fuel, what really, really drives you from the core of literally you go to bed, you think about it, you wake up every morning, you think about it, you go to bed every evening, you think about it, and it's literally just a cycle, a constant cycle of having that fire and keep pushing, even through the hard times. Because if you make it through the hard times, you're gonna have it way easier in the good times as well.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's what's really core at the fundamental of what it means to be a good founder in general, is making sure that you don't half-ass anything. That's another thing. I see so many people.
That's so real.
And I'm also very guilty of this. I used to, back when I started my entrepreneurship journey about a couple years ago, I used to half-ass things, and I was like, oh, you know what? It's fine to this extent. And it's very ironic because in theory, with a SaaS or a software as a service platform, you want to be able to launch imperfectly because then you can test faster, you can iterate faster, and you have that startup growth. But in general, there's a difference between half-assing it and launching something that's imperfect.
Right.
I think there's a very fine line in between, and a lot of people fall into the wrong kind of shade and the wrong kind of component.
Absolutely.
But I think being able to really give it your all and truly internally prove to yourself that I have what it takes and I'm gonna make sure that I never quit. You are going to fail, you are guaranteed to fail at one point in your life miserably, and you're gonna think that it's the worst time of your life. And I hope that happens to you. And also I hope that you get out of that situation, just in general, because I think it's not about the amount of times you get knocked down, it's about the amount of times you get up. And if you always know internally that you're gonna get up, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down.
Absolutely.
And like I told you as well off camera, it's if you were 55 away, no's away from a yes, how fast would you want to go through all the no's?
I know, right?
Insanely fast.
That's so real.
And that's such a good framework, I think, to live by in general. I think a lot of people really misunderstand the concept of business.
Absolutely.
And they really, really think that it's super over-glorified, it's super easy, you work 2 hours a day and you make $25,000. I mean,
it's not that simple.
It's really not that simple, especially at the start, I think, of your journey where you have an information overload of what business actually is at its core. I think in general you're able to strategize and scale, and that's where you'll be able to work 5 hours a week and make $60,000 a month, sure. But I think the very, very first fundamental part is not even going from 0 to 1, is going from -1 to 0.
And I mean, absolutely, I want to have you actually talk more about that. This is actually something I wrote that I really want to share.
Yeah,
I want to find it because I really just to add some substance and something for the viewer.
Yeah.
Finding that, how do they find that, right? Let's say they grew up very comfortably, they never had to really push themselves, and they're thinking that to themselves shit, AI's coming out, it's gonna be the next big thing. I want to be someone. How do I put myself in that position where I'm gonna grow and I'm gonna understand that it's not about, the goal. And I really love what you said about, it's not about the goal, it's not about that feeling the gratitude of I made it, but appreciating each step and each part of suffering.
Stacking the small wins as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a very good question to ask. And I think in general, as fun as it sounds, is put yourself in more uncomfortable situations where you give yourself the opportunity to grow. There's a really good quote that I like that Alex Ramosi mentioned, which is a fool prays for an easier road and a wise man prays for stronger legs. And so when you ask, when you're faithful and you talk to God and you ask to be courageous, are you asking to be courageous or the opportunity to experience courage? And it's the same thing, I think, and the same principle of how do you experience suffering, how do you experience things that will give you more challenges that allow you to grow. I think the fundamental concept of that is being able to put yourself in situations where you have the opportunity to grow. So for example, I joined Chalkboard, the student entrepreneurship group, when I was pretty much nobody. I had no venture, I had no business, etc. And I was the stupidest person in the room. I was always, super, super humbled every single time. I literally felt like an idiot. But that was the place to be in.
Absolutely.
Because you learn the most. And I think any environment where you are able to learn the most, where you're able to grow the most, where you're able to feed off of other people's, energy and mindset. And if you really start to understand how people think, that genuinely rewires your brain. And I think for everybody who's watching this, who is in that zone where you're at the perfect comfort, where you don't know where to start, or you actually live a very comfortable life, but you want to experience business, put yourself in uncomfortable situations, go experience something new, find more appreciation in the smaller things as well, and put yourself out there. Like, I can't stress it enough, how exposure to new environments and to new experiences will put more challenges into you, because you are forced into a position where you are faced with something you don't know. And I think that's like step one. Like, business is, every single person, every single businessman has gone through this, or businesswoman in general. They have gone through stages of not knowing shit. And I think that's like so like overlooked. I think like when you start a business, you don't know what to do.
Absolutely.
And I think so many people are like, oh, there's a very specific framework to follow. Like, there's very broad general
Like, why do you
frameworks.
think self-help books sell so well? You know what I mean? It's people want to know what to do.
Of course.
That's not how you make progress.
People want guidance, and I think that's different to mentorship. I think that's really important. Mentorship offers. I have a really good mentor who offers a lot of things about mental structure and mental frameworks, and in general, how to think from outside the box. He doesn't tell me like how to incorporate a business. He doesn't tell me like, oh, you should go talk to this customer specifically. But they offer guidance as fuel so that you figure shit out.
Let's be honest, the learning point isn't knowing what to do that's right. The learning point is the struggle.
Yeah. Honestly, you couldn't have said it any better.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
There's a quote I wanted to say, I guess, about escaping like monotony, right?
Yeah.
What we're talking about,
Yeah.
and I think really much relates to the idea of, being truly free.
Yeah.
Right. And I wrote this a while back, and this will be coming up later. Hint to anyone coming back after 2 years. I think I'll have that plan in motion probably about 2 or 3 years.
Oh yeah.
It's a secret. I'll tell you about it off camera.
Sounds good. Excited to hear
I
it.
wrote this. You'll be hearing this in probably about 3 years, and it's gonna be really funny to clip later.
Just let's save it.
Just to save it and then
What
predict
day is
it
it
3
today?
years later.
Sunday, September 28th.
Oh yeah.
12:15 p.m.
So you guys will see this. Will be really silly.
2025.
So I'm gonna read it now. Make sure to read it good. The true slaves are the ones who forget their chains. Bless the men with the will to gnaw at the bars or carve off their own feet to defy the irons that strangle their knees and ankles. I tell you this, the man who crawls without teeth or toes walks freer than those who never dared to run nor speak.
That's insane.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you want to break that down?
Yeah, so I feel that honestly, kind of talking about that, trying to fit in, right? There's something very comforting about that. And I think as people, right, we're so obsessed with organization.
Yeah.
Right? And part of my big belief, especially, I'm a religious person, very religious. I don't know if you are, but I think it still relates in that, to truly be free is to be different.
Yeah.
Right? To be a person, to be unique is to be different.
Yeah.
And to really be someone important is you have to be different. And I mean, I think of life a lot of times kind of like as a wave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a wave, and you're expected to just kind of follow the wave, follow the groove. I mean, as we know, just like particle in physics, right?
Yeah.
Everything in life is just a wave.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, light's weird,
Yeah.
but everything in life is a wave, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then to be the person, you know, your whole life you're just trying to follow the wave. You're trying to follow the wave. You're trying to copy it, right? But then defying it somewhere along the line, right? Where you're like, no, fuck this. I'm gonna do my own thing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go against it. And you learn to go against it.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing. That's what makes you unique. You want to create your own waves in life.
Yeah.
Honestly, you want to create your own energy.
Yeah.
You don't want to follow it, because if you want to be someone special, you have to have the nerve to leave the group.
Yeah.
To really find those people who help sink you. I mean, I believe so much in the idea of, you know, being with people who are going to push you, and like
Yeah.
we were talking about, right? Mentorship.
Yeah.
Right. It's not, oh, follow my path.
Yeah.
Create your own.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think the concept of like agency as well, and that ability to have the mental will and the mental power to realize that you're in a wrong environment, that you're in the wrong situation, and being able to switch out of the state of mind that you're currently in and kind of look at it from a third person view.
Absolutely.
And being able to have just the sheer mental capacity to say, you know what, I'm not on the right path, I'm gonna go do something different. I think that's so important as well, where people like put themselves into environments where they think that they have to be in because of external factors, like, you know, friends, like pressure from friends, family, whatever, and then they stick and they don't thrive in those environments. But if they just had that extra ability to mentally like overcome their own, I guess, like pain of the perception of the other person, they could actually just take action earlier. They could, you know, learn faster, and they could hit this point of like going down on your own path way faster and way sooner. And I think a lot of people, the reason they start so late is because they're scared.
Yeah.
And so I want to talk about fear.
Let's talk about fear. I love that. It's a
So
great topic.
how do you think, personally for you, fear shaped who you are today and the kind of entrepreneur that you are today as well?
Yeah, I think something about it's just purely survival. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Understanding there's always going to be the person with the most amount of resources.
Yeah.
And just that really, I think you can relate this, like that pure, authentic, like
Absolutely.
animalistic, like
Yeah.
I need the resources.
Yeah.
I need to do it.
Yeah.
And the fear is a very beautiful thing, right? Because fear it puts you in fight or flight.
Yeah.
And you have to know when to put yourself into fight or flight, right? And that when, if you're going to go into fright, you're going to run away,
Yeah.
stop, don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's appropriate times to run away from
Yeah.
what you're scared of, but in, you know, the broader schemes of,
Yeah.
we don't live today where we have to worry about getting chased by like a mammoth or a wildebeest.
Yeah.
You know, our problems are a lot different.
Yeah.
Fear, man, I don't know. I mean, it's a really good question. I really gotta sit on it. Honestly, I don't want to just yap. I want to give a good answer. So, I mean, what do you think? Because that's a very good question. I think you put a lot of thought into it.
I think in general, fear is such a cool phenomenon where, I don't know if I'm saying that word correctly or
No, I
not,
read you.
where it's not an emotional state. And I think
Whoa, yeah.
And I think a lot of people confuse it with fear being an emotional state. But I think from a business and an entrepreneurial perspective of who you are as a person, because essentially that's what, you know, it's really deeply rooted in you, your ability to move past your fear and your ability to take action once your fear settles in is what's going to make you a better entrepreneur, is what's going to make you a better business owner. I think in general, as funny as it sounds, fear is mental. So I don't remember who was telling me the story, unfortunately, but it was a couple of months ago, where someone was talking about a dentist. It was about needles, and it was Ryan Poole. Shout out Ryan. It was about needles, and so Ryan grew up really like being completely fine with needles. You know, going to the doctor, you know, a needle in your arm, nothing, you know, no harm, no foul. And Ryan also had a childhood friend who would be really scared of needles, and so they would go to the doctor together. And Ryan would sit there, you know, as his friend's getting his shot or whatever, and his friend would start shaking, start like, you know, visibly sweating, you know, be super anxious about it. And so Ryan's mental state started changing, and his brain went through the process of neuroplasticity, was your ability to change basically your brain and how it adapts over time. because he saw that other people were starting to get really frightened from needles. So Ryan started worrying, like, oh shit, do I also have to be scared of needles? And over time, that like reinforced over and over and over, like the next like 5 years, to the point where now Ryan is scared of needles, even though
Whoa.
as a kid he wasn't scared at all.
That's fascinating.
And I think that concept of it all being just mental perception and your ability to look at an event or look at a particular being from a different lens, I think that is the concept of fear itself. And I think if you have the capability to detach yourself from that angle of perception of fear, let me say it again, if you have the opportunity and the ability to detach yourself from the perception and the angle of fear, like you're unstoppable, pretty much, because then you don't fear anything. And that's also a good question, I think, in general to have is like, is a life where you don't fear anything worth a life to live?
Absolutely.
Which is kind of deeping into philosophy and psychology, which,
love that.
could be like a rabbit hole for 10 plus hours probably that we can, dive into. But I think in general, I want to hear more about what you think of fear and how you think it can shape a person through either personal experiences or, stories, or just in general, what you think about fear as a whole.
Yeah. No, I think fear is a very beautiful thing. Especially, I have more to think about it now. I don't think I can really give a great answer where I know and I can give a definite, like 100% that is true. So I'm trying to figure out at the same time.
Yeah.
You're talking about it. Fear. Wow. I mean, fear to me, right? I think it's truly what makes great people. Honestly, like I think someone who is scared of something is either they've seen it or they've heard about it and they're trying to avoid it. And I think on the gram, like socially, right? Think about, I think about my own father in a lot of ways, right? He didn't have the best childhood, you know what I mean? And he was scared of being a bastard father to me, and fear has pushed him in a lot of ways to care more, and I think that's a very deep thing. I think fear, it can be the greatest motivator, and then also if you don't have it, it allows you to be more comfortable with the bad decisions you make. Yeah, because you're not afraid of the consequences. Yeah, I mean, like people were saying, one of the greatest qualities that our school believes in is one of the greatest qualities of an entrepreneur is someone who is sensitive, someone who can empathize with other people. And I think that empathy, you have to understand, empathy is also derived from fear in a way, right? If you're following what I'm saying, 100%. Pick it up. 100%.
It's all a cycle.
It's all a cycle.
It's all a cycle. It's all connected.
And you can understand someone's fear, someone's pain. Absolutely. Right? Even on the most smallest scares where, some entrepreneurs, they make a lot of money just based on, fixing a little issue. Yeah. Whereas inconvenience versus something very huge like, solving a food crisis. Right? Fear is the biggest motivator, and I think it's also what connects us a lot as human beings. And I would argue that, honestly, using my own example, I feared, monotony. I had all these ideas from a young age. I always felt different. And I feared that I would live and die a life where my thoughts and ideas would never come out. And I would never see the light of day. And to me, that's worse because, think about martyrs. Yeah. They don't fear death. Yeah. And fearing death is...
kind of embrace it in a way.
They embrace it. They love it. They literally live for it. Yeah. They live to die so that their ideas speak on.
That's incredible.
You know what I mean?
That's incredible. Yeah, and I think it's so funny how so many entrepreneurs just don't want to take a swing. And I think the concept of fear, yes, and the concept of fear in general, as like a non-emotional state, is kind of emotionally rooted in a lot of people. I think those aspiring entrepreneurs who are fearful of taking action because they're fearful of judgment or they're fearful of failing, it's literally they're living in the present for something that hasn't happened yet. And so you're always in an anxious state.
What's my train of thought? Yeah. Because I'm gonna be honest, I as you know, I say whatever the fuck's on my mind, right? Yeah. My train of thought is I will do whatever I want because I guarantee you, no matter how stupid it is, I've done a lot of like goofy stuff, right? And when I edit
we're not gonna share it.
Oh no, I'll share it. I'll put up clips when I edit this. But I was Agatha Trunchbull in my high school's production of Matilda, so I dressed up as a woman in basically drag at an all-boys Catholic high school while also being a varsity wrestler. So everyone knew, like, that's Thomas. He dressed up as a woman, and he can also kick my ass. So the duality was funny. But
duality of man.
Yeah. Oh, what was I saying before that? Sorry, I got a little sidetracked.
We're talking about fear. And fear of failure, fear of starting.
Oh, yeah, here's my thought of why I don't fear, for example, like taking those risks is, end of the day, right? Let's say you did something really embarrassing and you're just fucking embarrassed about it. Like, you're like, oh my God. Like, oh, why would I do that? Like, you get that like shriveling feeling in your gut.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think whoever you embarrass yourself in front of, that when they're on their deathbed, when they're going through all the things in their life, they remember that one time you like, I don't know, farted really loud in church?
Yeah,
right?
of course not.
Like if you messed up on a date and just said something really out of pocket. You know what I mean?
Speaking of brand, it's free will. Yeah, I think
so
everybody's.
End of the day, sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're totally good.
But the end of the day, nothing's that deep.
Yeah.
And when you realize, honestly, when you remove, that self-consciousness of what if I fuck up?
Yeah.
Right? Then you become the most free. Life becomes a video game. Like, who cares? Because honestly, bro, I mean, I'll see a lot of NPCs walking around, dude.
I think in general, like, it's so funny because the world is so full of just like paradoxes.
Oh,
where it's like
everything's cultural, man.
It's funny because you have one life and so you have to live it to the fullest. You have to, be this like serious but non-serious person, and you're able to like live a life, and you're able to, be financially stable and provide for your family and friends and whatnot and blah blah blah. But then on their side, you live on a floating rock in the middle of space.
Yeah, who cares, dude?
And it's like, I can experience free will right now and just walk around if I wanted to and just like just say stupid shit.
Absolutely.
And I think it's so funny because it's the same thing with fear, like you said. So many people are just scared of what could have happened. And they don't even, like, there's no guarantee ever that that thing would have ever even happened.
Oh, of course,
it's
dude.
all just meant, like, I promise you that 99% of realities that you have in your mind are not even real. Like, point blank. I think so many people are like, oh, what is this other person thinking about me right now as I'm, like, walking wearing this fit?
Who cares?
Who the fuck cares?
Who cares,
like,
dude?
Bro, everybody has their own problems in life, and so everybody's, like, focused on their own thing.
First day of the gym here,
Yeah.
I pulled up in a Pikachu outfit and started deadlifting.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
dude. Hell
Come
yes,
on.
dude.
Come on, who cares,
Oh,
man?
it was like 6:30 a.m. I remember when I was a freshman, dude. The gym was packed. Dude, it was like, you couldn't walk, dude. And the gym, by the way, was like 3 times smaller than it was right now. And we have 1,200 kids.
Dude,
every year.
I would drop a weight on someone's head.
Oh, dude, it was really bad.
I swear to
We
God.
literally had to wait. There was like a rotation of like 4 people on one set. It was really bad.
That's horrid.
Yeah.
That is horrid, dude.
I think in general, back to fear. We keep getting sidetracked. I think we both just have like really bad ADHD.
Dude, you know what?
Just, like,
I'm having a great time.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
think this is awesome.
It's all usable too. So.
Yeah, of course. Showing everybody. I'm probably gonna just upload the content just like raw, just the entire like 2 hours.
We
or
should do this
whatever.
more often. I think honestly, we gotta like have like a set, like today's like podcast record kind of day.
Yeah,
Like you know.
I think in general, I'm gonna start these series where I want to talk to just like interesting people.
Oh,
I just want to like
appreciate
just
that. Thank
get
you.
their philosophical and psychological and personal worldviews as well.
Yeah.
And then the separate series is gonna be actually working on business. So that campus safety. I don't even know. But let's
unsafe.
yeah, of course, dude. Sunday noon.
God.
What could go wrong? Oh no. I think in general, a lot of people who are going to be watching this are probably going to be consumers, meaning that in the world, in my worldview, the world is split up into 2: producers and consumers.
Love that.
So consumers are the ones who, as the word goes, consume content. So they're they're the scroll watchers, they're the real watchers, etc. YouTube, absorbing information, but they never take action. And so what I spent a lot of my life doing that in general until I deleted TikTok and a bunch of other social media, because I realized that actually the only people who get fed in this world are producers. And the only people who actually attain the level of success that you can get are producers, or people who do stuff, that take action
create.
over, exactly, and like create. And I think the concept of being a producer is so important. And so if there's one thing that I want anybody to take away from this video, just in general, if you're still watching, thank you. Because that's actually crazy. Like, just people watch just like 20-year-olds and 19-year-olds just yap on the internet.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of crazy, right?
That's pretty interesting.
That's pretty funny. But just post. Like, literally just post. And it goes back to that, like, idea of the world is so small that nobody cares. There's 8 billion people in the world. So what that your friend from your same hometown, from your same city, from your same neighborhood posted you on social media and said, you're weird.
Who fucking cares?
Who fucking cares, bro? Literally just
cares,
like,
dude?
just post, make the post, because you never know who's gonna see it. You never know who's gonna reach out.
Also, nothing's that deep, bro. Also, that guy definitely has a small dick if he did that. Because, like, think about it like this. Think about it like this. How self-conscious do you have to be where you see someone trying something
Yeah.
and you tell them to quit.
And you bring them down.
And you bring them down.
Those people are anchors,
and
dude.
people exist like that. That's crazy
absolutely,
to me.
absolutely.
That is crazy to me. People
Yeah.
that actually think that that's going to do something good
Yeah.
for either party.
Absolutely.
Because you look like a dick.
Yeah.
Honest
It's
to
not only
God.
that, it psychologically feels terrible as
It
well.
feels terrible.
Just imagine just like being an anchor and just like forcefully just telling people like, oh, you're never gonna achieve your dreams. And you know what's so funny is that those are the people who, when you reach your success, not if you reach it, when you reach your success, they're the ones who keep messaging you back and saying, yo, how do you do that? And they want to learn after that.
Yeah, dude.
And you know what's even more funny is that even I think both of us can speak to this is we're the kind of people who would still help out even to the dickheads. And I think that's what separates a very good entrepreneur in general. That you have to have that level of kind of like you have to have a balance between that kind of fuck you attitude in business because business is a sport and you have to outwork everybody. And so I told Thomas that I work harder than anybody in the world. Thomas thinks that he works harder than anybody in the world, and it's a little battle between us.
Yeah, of course.
But in general, you have to have that empathy. You have to have that relationship with people in general to be able to sustain a relationship. Like business is about people in general.
Oh, absolutely.
Regardless of what you're in, whether you're B2C, which is business to consumer, whether you're B2B, business to business, whatever framework or model that you have, you are going to be dealing with people. Ultimately, even in this world of AI, and agents, that we're going to be talking to a bunch of agents, it's still designed by people. And so fundamentally, at one point throughout the business cycle, you are going to need to talk to people. And I think that your capability of being able to do that is so fundamentally important. And so 3 things: post, talk, and be fearless, and be relentlessly fearless. And you are actually able to rewire your own brain.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's so funny how, have you ever gone like skydiving or like bungee jumping or anything like that?
No, but I've definitely done stuff where I had that like, oh shit, panic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's the moment where you have to take the action.
Oh, absolutely.
Because otherwise your brain just takes over. And then you're completely cooked. And so if you're able to just like move, like literally physically just drag your body. Like this morning, dude, I got like 4 hours of sleep and I was just like, I really don't want to go gym. But I was like, you know what?
Fuck it.
My day is so busy and I have to go gym. And that's the concept of discipline. Which
Absolutely.
leads really nicely into what do you define as discipline?
Oh, fuck. I gotta think about that. I think discipline is a mixture of things, right? Because anyone can just wake up and say, I'm gonna do 100 push-ups.
Yeah.
Right? Anyone can say, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna write a book.
Yeah.
They can do anything. They can say that. It's sticking to it. I think discipline's a mixture of knowing that it aligns with your soul. Right? I believe everyone is meant to be a person.
Yeah.
But they don't know how to get there. Everyone doesn't know how to get there. I'm still working to figure out how to be the person I want to be.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, honestly, it's something that aligns with your soul.
Yeah.
Right? And then understanding that in order to align with your soul, you weren't made perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Perfection can't be attained without suffering.
Correct.
And a majority of what discipline is, it's not that feeling of like, yeah, I'm gonna go work out, or
Yeah.
I'm gonna do X, Y, Z. It's the knowledge of I have to suffer, I have to give up something to become something new. Right? You can't be the same person you were a week ago to be successful.
Yeah.
You just won't grow. And I think success and discipline is the ability to change. That's what I think it is.
That's a really good way to look at it. I think the concept of adaptability and that, like you said, being able to change is so important. And discipline is repetitive.
Yeah.
So it's not a one-time thing where, you kind of wake up and you have that David Goggins motivation at like 4 a.m. to just do like 1,000 push-ups and then go to bed.
What the fuck?
Or, you go on a run. It's, for me at least, it's the emotionless state of doing an action over a long period of time, over such a long period of time that it would be unreasonable for you to fail. And I think that the highlight of the word is emotionless. I think if you root discipline in emotion, meaning that, oh, I feel good today, I'm gonna go on a run. And then the following morning you're like, oh, I feel shit today, I'm not gonna go on a run. That's not discipline. That's motivation. And those are very two separate things.
I agree.
And I think discipline is your ability to get shit done regardless of how you feel. Like literally just, as toxic as it sounds, and it's really funny because my mom is a psychologist, and so me and my mom have a lot of disagreements over the state of emotion just in general in the world of business. But I think generally just like fuck your emotions. Just like discipline is the concept of literally suppressing your emotions and getting shit done regardless of what it takes, because that is what a successful business looks like. Where you're able to move past your emotional state. If you're depressed, get shit done. If you're happy, get shit done. If you're busy, get shit done. If you're tired, get shit done. Literally just move. And that like concept again of just like constantly just dragging your feet and putting one foot in front of another. There's a really good parable that I like, where if you're in a forest and you see a mountaintop, you don't know how to get there. And so the first thing that you need to do is look under your feet and take one step at a time. And then eventually you're gonna land on a mountain cliff or a mountain top that is way higher than the one that you saw initially. Because if you only look at the mountaintop as your end goal, so for example, if your end goal is to make $50K a month, and that's your only lens, you're never gonna get there. Because you're gonna get lost along the way and you're gonna fall. But imagine if you were like, okay, let's start with $1, then let's start with 10, then 100, then 1,000, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, 50. Suddenly you're gonna be making $500,000 a month in general because you're taking those micro steps and you learn something new every single day.
Fuck yeah.
And I think that ability to break things down is also super important and why a lot of people fail and quit too early. There's so many people that I know who burn out, who don't attain their goals, because it takes longer than you expect.
Oh, absolutely.
It takes way fucking longer than you think. And I think that's what discipline is being able to have that delayed kind of like gratification, but also monetization, because in business it's everything about cash flow and, you know, being able to sustain a customer relationship.
Yep.
And we're gonna dive into that in a little bit. But your ability to actually just be patient, and I think that is like a virtue in itself.
There's a couple thoughts I had about that, right? Because I'm talking about the path, right? Getting there. I think that honestly, what is beautiful and depressing about the path to success, right? Whatever that may be for you viewers watching, is how much society tries to push you back.
Yeah.
And I know you can definitely relate to this.
Oh, absolutely.
I was, obviously ADHD kid. I was always told a lot that I was normal. I was awkward. I wasn't normal. I was awkward. I was weird. You're like, what the hell's wrong with you, dude? Like, lock in, whatever. And how much society is like, oh no, you need to take. I've been on so many different ADHD medications, and I just hated myself because it wasn't me. Right? How much people try and push you back and say, no, you're just a kid. What can you do? Right? Look at. You can't be Steve Jobs. You're not going to Harvard. You have shitty grades. Like, but I stay up to 1 in the morning. You don't.
Those like ceilings that are always compressed into you. And again, it's that concept of like people constantly trying to anchor you down because they didn't achieve it themselves. And you know what? Most people, like, it's so funny because this might sound really egotistical, but for me,
just say it.
Yeah, I love seeing other people succeed. I just love it. Like, even if I don't know you, I'm going to root for you either way.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I know that that's the goal that I want to achieve, and so why would I try and bring you down?
Yeah.
That's only going to hurt me in the long run.
There's so much money.
Yeah, exactly.
Enough for anyone, dude.
Exactly.
Come on now.
And so what I'm trying to do, I think in general, is like switch away from the mindset of like, oh, like you just got lucky. Like, sure, every single entrepreneur, I believe, got lucky at one point in their life with some kind of event, right?
But I don't think luck is real, and let me explain that.
Okay.
Because I learned this in Boy Scouts, right?
Yeah.
Be prepared is a very big thing.
Yeah.
And the luckier people are the people who are prepared.
Yes.
That's a big thing I learned from one of my mentors,
Absolutely.
just kind of in life, Mr. Friedland. Very great guy. I absolutely love him. I would love to actually talk with him. He'd be a very interesting man to talk to. But luck, it favors the prepared.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you think about it, the more experiences you go through, the more you're going to be prepared.
Absolutely.
And therefore, the more lucky you seem.
Yeah. The more opportunities you get. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, genuinely being prepared and positioning yourself for anything. Honestly.
I think I fully agree with that. And I think in general, like, luck can be, there's a reason why if you win the lottery, you see all these stories about people, resorting to like drugs, prostitutes, etc., and just like losing it all.
Yeah, in like 5 years,
And like within 5 years. Again, it could be a concept of financial illiteracy, but it also is a matter of luck and like how you attain that luck. If you take more swings, and if you do more volume of things, like for example, back to discipline. I was talking to someone who was looking for a job in investment banking, and I asked him, how many reach outs do you do a week? And he's like, oh, I do like 5 calls and maybe like 20 emails. And I go, you do realize that if you did like 5x that in a day, you would literally 35x your return in a week. And if you do that at 10 weeks, you 350x your return of output, meaning you are 350 times more lucky to be able to get an opportunity to be able to go into investment banking.
Oh yeah.
And literally, like, it's so funny how life is literally just a numbers game. It's like if you just do more of whatever fucking task you have, you are capable of attaining so much more. So if you currently do like 10 posts a day or whatever, why not do 20? Why not do 30? If you don't have the time, trust me, make the time. Like
You have it.
You have it.
You have it,
It's just
dude.
about priorities.
You have it.
And I think so many people also like they're like, oh, but I like scrolling on Instagram. I like, just like
Well,
not
you don't like
doing
success.
shit.
You don't like success.
Yeah, you don't want it bad enough.
No,
It's
no,
like
fuck no, you
the
don't.
cost of not swinging and going for it with every single ounce, where you squeeze 110% of your juice every single day. If you don't do that, you don't want it bad enough, and you don't deserve to be successful.
Absolutely.
I don't care who you are. I don't care what position you're in. If you are not taking the opportunities to swing big, and in this world of digital tech and technology and being able to thankfully, there's a lot of people in the world who are able to afford technology, and there's a lot of people who unfortunately are not. So most of the viewers have, if you're watching this,
you have no
some-
excuse. You have no
something.
fucking
You have a
excuse.
phone, you have a MacBook, you have any laptop,
Whatever,
you have
you
anything.
have no excuse. Even if you're watching, say you're really fucked, and you're watching this on your best friend's TV or on their freaking phone, you still have a chance to say, hey, can I borrow your phone to record a video? Can I borrow your phone to send an email to this person? You gotta think, where can you start? You just have to fucking go.
It's so funny how the less you have to lose, the easier it is to be successful.
Oh, I know.
Because you have nothing else. Like you literally, I don't understand how people simply don't wake up every morning. If you're like a nobody, and if you're genuinely just like a bum who's just smoking pot, you're not really doing anything, you have no purpose. How do you not wake up every morning with the state of okay, you can either die like this, or you can actually take action.
But you're dying already. You didn't live. You're
Exactly.
not living.
And for me, in general, I think one of, back to the fear concept is my fear is being on my deathbed and being like, yo, I wish I'd done more.
Yeah.
I think
Every
that's such
every man will die, but not every man has lived. You
Wow.
know?
Say it again.
Yeah, okay. Remember,
Wow.
back on what I said. Every man will die, but not every man will live.
That's insane. I need to add that to my I have a list of good ass quotes to live by.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that.
I can actually read some of them out. Let's see. Yeah, good ass lines to live by. Every man will die, but not every man. Dude, that's insane. What the? That's wow. That's an awe. So I have a lot of quotes, like a lot.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna read some of my favorites out. I think.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Let's do it.
Let's go. A man who fears failure more than pain will taste both.
Ooh.
Then let's see. If your fear of failure is greater than your fear of staying exactly where you are, you're always going to be scared. Notice how a lot of them are about fear and emotional states of being. Yeah.
That's a very big drive. I think I'm noticing fear is a very big drive for you, isn't
Oh,
it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think my biggest, like I said, my biggest fear is being on my deathbed at the end of my life and really saying that I wish I had done more. I think I'm very fortunate enough to have experiences in my life that are allowing me to do more and to experience more of life. But I think in general, I take such a big advantage of that.
Oh, yeah.
And that I try and do more, and I try and really put myself out there, put myself in new experiences, talk to more people. I literally met you 2 days ago.
And you're a great guy.
Yeah, and so are you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know we're gonna be together for a while, man, for sure.
And by the way, I've not known Thomas for years and years and years.
Oh, yeah,
We literally
it's
met
just-
48 hours ago.
Fuck yeah.
And it's incredible.
That's the thing I think is beautiful about working so hard is time feels so much longer in the best way
Right,
possible.
right.
I feel like I've lived. I've been on campus for about maybe a week and a half now.
Yeah.
Not even. I feel like I've been here for 3 months.
Yeah.
And that is beautiful.
Yeah.
And it literally I get the most.
Time gets elongated.
In
And I
the
feel
best way.
Yeah,
In the
and
best
it's a
way.
really, really good way because you start putting yourself out there. You're a freshman as well, so you're completely new, and you have so much stimuli around you. You're so laser
God,
focused,
you're
and you're
still
still
trying
doing
to
your
go,
thing.
go, go,
Yeah,
go.
and it's that constant. Notice how every single founder in general has a sense of urgency.
Oh, yeah.
That you don't have enough time, and it's insane because you're not guaranteed tomorrow.
No.
And so every single day you have to go to bed and think if this is my last day, would this be a good way to spend my life?
good way to end it, yeah.
Yeah, a good way to end
Yeah.
it. And a very good question that I like, which is a little bit toxic, but I'm still gonna say it anyways.
Say it, dude.
Is on an interview you asked a person if you had 1 year to live, would you still work here? If your answer is no,
God, dude, yeah.
and I'll probably travel or spend my life, they're not the guy because they don't want to full send it.
No, dude.
And it's really, really weird, and obviously it's gonna piss a lot of people off. But for me, for example, I feel like business is such a core part of who I am in general.
Yeah.
and I love doing it.
It's a great thing.
I don't force myself to do it. I'm naturally like attracted and pulled into it.
It's in your core.
Right?
I wrote this thing actually exactly about that. It was, can I say about last night or should I not? Actually, I probably, no. I'll just say I was having a great time last night. I was being social.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was being very social. So I was out inside for the church, and I was just kind of like meditating to myself, and I wrote this. I hope I can still read it. As I said to my grandkids, this journey has felt as natural to me as birds immigrating north, for even if my direction lays towards hunters, as long as I have wings or feet, I will fly, walk, crawl to my destination. That was one thing I wrote. And then another thing I wrote, which I think is on the same path, if I can find it somewhere.
Your cheat drawings.
Oh yeah, all my drawings, dude. Shoot. Let me find it if I can. That'll be interesting if I can.
While you do that, or did you find it?
Oh yeah, I found it.
Okay, but.
And then another thing about that too, kind of after the year thing that I wrote is, when it's time to be an adult, are you going to be the man that you want to be or the man you're forced to be? Right?
Yeah.
So I think that it's kind of both a positive thing and a negative thing where, I mean, for me, I've been forced into situations that gave me an awakening.
Yeah.
Right? But sometimes if you don't have those awakenings, they don't occur naturally.
Yeah.
Or if you lay complacent, if you don't do anything, you're going to be forced to be a person who's just not unique to you.
Absolutely. And I think that's such a crucial part of life in general. I think the ability to put yourself in some situations where you are not forced to do anything, and you actually you kind of force yourself in a way where you're like, but you want to do it, so it's not really force. And it's a very fine line in between. There's a really good quote here that I like. It's never too late to be what you could have been.
I like that. I liked it a lot.
And I think in general, like it goes back to the concept of time and urgency. And a lot of the people that I know in life are always super focused and super lasered, which I very deeply admire, by the way. Like, if you are that person and you know exactly who you are, huge respect to you, just in general. And I think the concept of time is so funny because I'm 20. I feel like I'm 50. And I feel like I need to do more. And I feel this like dying, burning passion of just getting more done in a shorter time frame. But I feed off of this energy. Like, I love having pressure on my back, and I love, give me 20,000 assignments to do within like 2 hours. Like, I thrive under that shit, A lot of people crumble. There's people that I know personally who, like, they can't live under pressure at all. And I've realized that, like, pressure makes diamonds just in general.
Dude, hell yeah.
It's low-key a very unique way of looking at it. So trust me, like, whatever situation you're in, whatever life situation, whatever shit that you're going through, somebody has it worse than you. So it's not that bad. Like, realistically, how bad can it be? 2 is just get up and work. Like, literally, like, again, back to that emotionless state of like whatever emotion you're feeling or whatever anxiousness or, depression, whatever you're going through. If you get up and do the work, you might be able to get over it. Freaking just playing some videos. And in general, I think this concept of being just like, I just know for a fact that there are going to be people watching this who are going to be watching it to this minute and still not take action after. And that's just mind baffling.
Honestly,
I don't know. I genuinely
I appreciate that you use click off because you have no use.
Yeah, you're wasting your own time at this point.
No, because this is for people who are going to do it. And if you're going to watch this video, and we're going to keep talking after this, however long that is, you're going to be wasting more of your time, and you're better off just rotting your fucking brain. So just click off, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's me being respectful. For your time. That's not me trying to, say fuck you in any way. I hope you make action.
Yeah. But I think in general, the one thing that I can really pray to people, just in general, is to take more relentless action. Just take bigger swings. If you look at the most successful people in the world, one thing that they did was just relentless action. Day after day, night after night, month after month, year after year, decade after decade. It's just relentless pursuit of action, the journey, the path, the imperfections, the fixing, the building, the growing, etc. And one thing they all had in common is they didn't know where to start, but they just started somewhere. And I think, again, you just have to start. And I think this leads really, really nicely into now more away from the philosophical and psychological, which I think we'll talk about off camera and on a different video as well.
Yeah, of course.
Is now into the business side of things.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
And so now, if you watch this far, this is where the real value adding begins of how to scale and grow an existing and a very, very, very bullish up and coming fitness app that is going to revolutionize, I think, the world of fitness from a scientific perspective and also gamification that is scientifically backed by the one and only Tom's right here.
Thank you. All right, so yeah,
let's dive into it.
Yeah, so I mean, a big thing I think I would just notice with my fitness apps is they don't really work. Let's be honest. Like, so for me, I weigh 200 pounds. I rep 225 for 10, and on like gravel or other fitness, I'm gonna name drop because honestly, fuck you guys. That's the mindset. I'm sure.
I highly doubt some employees might be watching this, but you never know, bro. You might get banned from them.
That's true. Well, you know what? It comes from a place of love, whereas I'm competitive.
Tough love.
Tough love.
Yeah.
Tough love. Where I'm gonna compete with you guys, and I'm excited. That's gonna be a great, very fulfilling journey. So, love with competition. You know what I mean? Love for the game. With other fitness apps, like I was saying, Gravel, I believe Fitbod. If I'm missing any other generic names, you guys aren't really that creative, but Virtus sounds badass. Virtus is literally the Latin word for male growth and progression.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? That is tough as hell. Like that's something
really tough.
I want someone to tattoo that on them. Seriously.
You should tattoo it yourself.
I should.
Once you hit 100K MRR, you should tattoo that.
That'd be tough, dude. Yeah. Anyways, so fitness apps, they're boring. They don't track. They don't do anything well. And a lot of them have a, membership issue where it's like, okay, if you want to consider starting fitness, say this is actually very relatable for someone watching right now. Let's say your goal is, what you collect for this video, you want to start going to the gym, right? If you use any other fitness apps, you're going to be brought with a paywall, which is stupid because I'm gonna be honest, they're not gonna give you great information. They're not gonna cater it towards your body weight, towards your strength, towards everything, right? So the biggest thing you have to do, right, is just listen to what I have to say on this one. I swear to God. Other fitness apps, what they do, and it's just so gimmicky, is they'll maybe use like one formula, like volume, or something that bodybuilders use. But not everyone wants to be a bodybuilder. Some people wanna be strong, people wanna do cardio, right? People just want to figure out, get involved in the gym, just have that as their outlet. They don't want to be structured, they just want to do it. And these fitness apps with like ranking, it just makes no sense, right? And help guide me if I'm going wrong. I mean, I think I should just honestly give my elevator pitch. Right?
Honestly, just elevator pitch and just let's just break it down and we'll get into the juicy components.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So Virtus, it is the only fitness app that is truly gamified and scientifically backed by science. All of the XP systems are cohesive, and they are purely just based on hard work. They're not based on stupid metrics. Like for example, Strava only tracks your pace and your pace and your time, which makes no sense because if I weigh 200 pounds and I run a 6-minute mile, and if someone weighs 150 and they run a 6-minute mile, we're graded the same. But end of the day, who worked harder, right?
Proportion and ratio.
So proportionally, we track everything pound from pound. I'm innovating a lot of different metrics right now. Like I've not seen anyone invent these numbers. I've quite frankly been inventing a lot of things on my own. And here's why it's good for you. Let me explain it plain and simple because I know why it's great. But let me explain why it's great for you. Because it sticks you on your goals, right? And obviously, having like a David Goggins kind of guy archetype where it's just consuming same meaningless motivational content, it's not that. I've found different methods, doing a lot of research with how to gamify things so it makes it interesting. So it makes it so that you want to keep working out, you want to stick to your goals, right? So a big thing I've invented in the space is gamifying fitness. So the big feature is your 3D avatar, which you can, customize, go on side quests in the gym, really all that kind of stuff, right? I really hope I'm not saying too much.
Yeah, no, you can say as much as you want or as little as you want. I feel like I just need the context of the numbers in general and what your goals are so that I can figure out how I can help you as well.
All right, so my goals.
In terms of growth. And so I think a lot of people understand what you do as well in terms of gamifying fitness. So let's talk where you are right now, what your goals are,
of course.
Strategy, budget, plans, etc.
All right,
and
so
then
let's
we're
pull it
gonna
up just right next to you.
Yeah, we're gonna install what we know as money models,
Okay.
which is how you're gonna get the most amount of money, the shortest amount of time, so you can invest that capital to acquiring new customers.
Perfect.
To then allow you to scale.
Yeah,
So we're gonna do that so we can achieve your goal in half of the time that you say.
Yeah,
So let's get into it.
Big thing is for me, I'm B2C, right? So that's just a lot easier on my behalf. So
Business to consumer.
Business, perfect, yeah. Which honestly, I hate the whole idea of naming stuff so it sounds more complicated.
Right.
Like think of the term vibe coding. Do you know what vibe coding means? It means you could be any random motherfucker with ChatGPT and VS Code, and if you ask ChatGPT, hey, make me code for a graph,
You're
vibe coding.
Yeah.
They make it sound special so it sounds exclusive. It's not. Everything in business is just meant to sound pretty and fancy so that it excludes you.
Yeah.
It is the biggest hump of bullshit. So Jenny, if you have any questions and you don't know what someone says, like, oh, what is your, annual revenue? You don't know what that means? Ask.
Yeah.
Ask, dude.
There's so much terminology. There's so much terminology.
And a lot of it's bullshit, dude. A lot of it's bullshit.
I think a lot of it can be broken down into simpler terms. I think in the world of business, it's just a kind of universal term that I think everybody knows. Or everybody who's been in the game of business for a little while already knows. So for the beginners, we're going to just be breaking down everything, assuming that you don't know anything about business, so that we can really help you understand how to think like a business, which is a beautiful name drop of my video that I recorded last night at 1 a.m. How to think like a business.
I love that.
Hell yeah.
I love that. All right, so here's where I am. So as you can maybe see right now, I'll just kind of explain it visually. So I'm having a hard time with the 3D modeling. I started this about 5 months ago. I started learning Java and Python, and then after I learned about Lovable and different AI tools to help me vibe code, right? I basically just exceeded the whole process.
Yeah.
So I need to get a 3D model so I can use it for my app. And like I was saying earlier, I need to have that cohesive. I've been looking at different AI 3D programs, but honestly, that's the biggest thing I need.
Yeah.
As for the UI, which is just user interface, just basically how pretty does your app look? Does it look like a hump of just technological garbage?
Yeah.
Or does it actually have a theme? And does it have, some soul to it? Is it soulless or does it have a soul?
Yeah.
So I need to find someone who can help me draw these digital pictures, as you can see right here. I already have a lot of, it has a design. Obviously, I can't explain it to the user. That's the thing that I want. So what I'm going to do, and here's my plan, because I can show you more off camera because I'll be able to describe it and I can see it. It's just not going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
I am going to release my app. I said in about, I think last time we talked, I said 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of days. It's been now about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm providing myself enough pressure to really check all the things I need. Last things I'm going to kind of end up doing is figuring out the stats. So these are some of the stats I've invented. I don't know if you can see, but this one's not working. The strength is working, and then the cardio performance. So what I need to do to track cardio is, and I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
You need to figure out how to input a GPS in here. So that I can better track cardio. That's all I'm gonna say because I have invented this.
Yeah.
This does not exist anywhere else except for my app.
Yeah.
Same thing with another unit that I made. I'm looking at right now with a triangle. I've invented that. No one else has it. The only thing another person has that I'm biased. It was my idea first, even then too, because I'm a copyright on it or anything, is a volume hexagon. But even then, it's not based on any scientific metrics. It's literally the app guessing. So that's what's going on there. Mine's different and mine's better. I am biased, but I'm also right.
Yeah.
So basically just fixing up those last couple of things. I think it's absolutely reasonable. You tell me, so you have more experience, for me to get that out next week and a half, 2 weeks and a half. And here's the goal. Here's what's going on. I've already compiled, and here's my thought process, right? So a little sneaky for all you guys who watch this after the group chat's out is I was thinking to myself, right? I already have a bunch of beta testers, friends who I trust to show the app to, who are very interested. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I just can make one big group chat with 100 people.
Yeah.
You're not going to respond. Let's be simple.
Of course not. Yeah.
But if you kind of manipulate a little bit and you say, hey, I'll put you in my group chat, and it's a really small, dinky group chat with 5 other people, and you make multiple of those, all of a sudden if I ask you a question,
everyone's going to be interacting.
Everyone's interacting. Everyone's going to be going. So that's what I've been doing right now, making a list of people. Then I'm going to text them, see what group chat they want to do. So I'm going to have honestly probably 20, 30 group chats, just small people. Yeah. So it's, get more information from them.
And those are all your in real life friends, just kind of
all people who I trust, people who do fitness, people who want to get into fitness. So I have a good range from, the target audience is from 14 to 30 males. Yeah. So I have a good range, even some females too. I just don't think that as of right now it's going to be as great for, obviously demographics more like men.
Yeah. But, you know what's really funny as well? It's just so many people, come up to me and they're like, yo, how do I scale with no audience? I literally tell them do you have a computer or a phone? Make a LinkedIn account, make a Twitter account, go find just fucking people in the industry that you are trying to break into and just talk to them. Literally just talk to them. You guess what?
Biggest hump of fucking bullshit, and it pisses me off. I'm gonna get pissed off.
Yeah.
Is when I know people who go to this. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna name drop because I'm respectful. But I know people who they have an idea, and I say, hey, market research, because that's your next step in your project.
Yeah.
Have you done it? And they'll be like, oh, I haven't done that yet. I'll get on that. I see them 3 days later.
Yeah.
I'm like, so how's the market research coming along? I'm like, oh, I've done some of it. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't say this because I'm respectful. But I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you started it?
Yeah.
Market research is going on Google and asking questions. How fucking hard is that?
Yeah. Same
I guarantee,
like filing an LLC.
Dude, like, I'm gonna get a little crude, but it's honest. Yeah. It's like, dude, if I guarantee those same people who haven't done their market research, I guarantee they're searching more on Pornhub than they are about their actual fucking business.
Oh yeah, of course.
Right? And it's like, how could you not think all I have to do? You could be walking into class, 10 minutes, doing researching on Google. Hey, what is my target audience? What is the revenue? Whatever. You could be walking to class when you'd be just like literally scrolling 5 minutes, and you would learn more in those 5 minutes than you. It's not that hard. It is not that hard.
It's insane.
Sorry. Anyway,
No, it's
I
actually,
got a little passionate about that.
No, it's actually insane. I think. Again, it goes back to the concept of just like people just don't want to take action.
Yeah,
they'll find
it's bullshit.
People will find more excuses and reasons to do something, and that just means that you don't want success bad enough.
You don't want it.
I think that like entire concept is like insane.
You don't want it bad.
So, if you're starting out and you have no audience, you have no people, you have nothing in general in your little avatar of who you are, you download LinkedIn. You can open up an account with Appify, which is a scraper tool. You go into Polo. You use Appify. When you sign up, you get $5 worth of credits. I'm not affiliated with them whatsoever. But you have $5 worth of credits that you can use to get 4,000 different emails. And guess what?
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. And you can get any of those 4,000 emails. Like you can find anybody from any industry, from anything that you want to do. So find your skill. And if you don't have a skill, you're lying to yourself because you do. You don't have to be a 10 out of 10 guitarist to teach us you out of 10 how to play. You can only be 1 out of 10, or even a 2 out of 10, just be one step ahead. And honestly, the more tangible and the more relatable you are to someone, the more they want to do business with you.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of people, for example, that work with me are like in their early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, because I'm a 20-year-old. And so they would much rather get advice from me than from some 65-year-old guy who sits in a vineyard who's not going to reply to messages.
Yeah, it's not relatable.
I have more to prove. I have that dying, burning passion in me to prove to other people that like I have what it takes. I'm going to do it, and I know that's true anyways. And so of course, like people know that I'm going to do a better job. And so that's the kind of thing that you have to be doing, is really, really making sure that you like, if you're telling me you can't find a single person to pay for your service, you honestly just quit. Like, like it's not for you. Like you clearly are just like, you don't have a strategy in mind. And I'm telling you that like you can brute force your way through your first like 100 people. Yeah. Like I guarantee you have people in your phone, whether you run a community, a digital service, like a hospitality-based service, whatever it is that you do. You go into your contacts, you literally scroll every single person and you message them. And then you're like, hey, do you know anybody? For example, if you know that someone on your phone, for example, is not even going to be wanting to use the service, ask them if they know anybody who is. That's your concept of 7 degrees. You're connected with any person in the world through 7 different degrees. So me and you, for example, are connected through Colin. I know Colin through Ryan. Same thing, right? So it's that, and I met Colin last year as well. So it's the same thing, same concept of degrees. Same thing, even like cross universities, across different places. You meet these people. And so you are 7 questions away, basically, and 7 people away from reaching anybody in the world, which is 8 billion people. And you're telling me you can't get 1 paying customer for whatever service that you run? Bullshit. Yeah, 100%.
Bullshit.
And so, okay, so you have those 100 people, you have those group chats, and then you're planning on sending out your test flight app or whatever it is that you launch.
Yeah, so more than likely be 1 of 2 things. I gotta like double, triple check to see how it works. So obviously, I never converted HTML files, which is where I code, to ISO. What the fuck is it? iOS.
Yeah.
So I gotta figure that out. So that's gonna be like a web application for the beta that I send people, or it will be a app, like a little beta version of the app. So I'm gonna have them test it for, I would say, a solid amount of time is 2 months, because my idea is, all right, to build a habit, it takes 14 days.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that allows a little bit of buffer time.
Yeah.
Then on top of that too, by the time that the beta test is going out, that's all the information I need. 2 months from basically now.
Yeah.
Right? What month are we in? We'll be in end of November.
Yeah.
Right when that's done.
So right after Thanksgiving.
So right after Thanksgiving, Christmas will be coming up, and
Yeah.
that's when I'm going to get investors I've ever been talking to. So
Yeah.
I need investors.
Cool.
I want to run ads. Ideally, I'd like to partner with someone who has already a good reputation in fitness. So I myself, I bench 305, deadlift 505, and I squat 345, which are good numbers, but I don't have the reputation of, let's say, from like Jeff Nifford.
Yeah.
Right? Great fitness influencer.
Yeah.
Great reputation. I need to partner with someone.
Yeah.
While at the
Shout
same
out
time
Jeff.
running ads. So shout out Jeff. Please, bro. Please. Please, bro.
Bro
I
needs some
beg
help.
you.
Bro needs some help.
Please. Yeah, real. But as I was saying, so and the idea is, think about it, right? The New Year's resolution people, they're coming in January. It gives me a month to prepare, create videos, and just get going with the app.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm sitting. I think I've communicated, like I said, it was the avatar UI, marketing.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's investors. And I mean, obviously, getting a stronger back end.
Yeah.
Right. Than I have now, but just little touch ups.
Yeah.
So maybe even like a tiny bit of dev
Yeah.
help, but honestly, I think I can probably figure out most of this with just the AI tools that I have.
Yeah. So you're actually going to be in a probably a very similar position to what most people who are watching this as well, which is where you're right before your launch. You are technical, but not super technical, and so you need kind of guidance and advice on how to structure and everything as well. So let's talk about the numbers as well. So you mentioned off camera that you have 5 revenue streams from this app.
Yes,
right?
that's when it's completely sought through.
Okay, so what are those 5 revenue streams, or what's going to be in the beta version? So what's going to be in the earliest version that we can then use to get the paid ads, to get the customers that you want, to be able to scale from there?
So my idea actually, and I mean, I always want to course correct, is for the beta, I want there to be an idea of some things will be paid for, but it's all free. So you get an idea of this is what the premium version of the first draft of the app would look like.
Cool.
Just so I get an idea of how well that would go.
Yeah, cool. Real quick.
Yeah.
I want to also mention that if you are starting out and you have the one thing you need in business is proof and testimonials. And I think what you can do, and what everybody who's watching this can do in general, is exchange your premium service for testimonials. And I think if you're able to give something away, for example, that was going to be paid for free in exchange for testimonial, you can then use that testimonial as concrete proof to be able to get more customers through the door. So imagine you have those 100 people, you have your 100 friends. Give them the premium maxed out version and say, if you truly like, only leave a review if you truly like this. If you don't, then tell me and I'll fix it. Because that's those are your customers, and that's how you listen to consumers.
And your patient precedes you.
Exactly. And in general, you want to always be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna give you this product entirely for free. Let's say it's like $200 worth of value, or whatever it is, right? Whatever that number of value and time trade-off is, versus like a feedback and testimonial. And then you're able to apply that testimonial and apply that feedback and have it on your App Store page. You have. Would you rather buy a product that has 1 million 5-star reviews or 0? Of course 5 million, even if you don't know the person, as opposed to someone who who has 0. Because it's always things about trust, right? And you want to make sure that trust is authentic, and you can actually refer to that. So that's a strategy that I think a lot of people who are starting out need to do, is don't worry about the financial aspect first. Worry about how you are going to literally get your first person to pay, which is going to deeply be rooted in how do you get your first person to use it, to then bring more people, which is referrals and affiliates, which is where they get a commission for every person that they bring, which is another very powerful business model, by the way. And then your third is your ability to actually get more people in the door, who will keep using you, who will keep leaving you feedback, who will keep giving you more, either feature requests or changes or suggestions, who genuinely want to continue using the app. And you need to make sure that you prioritize those people as well in general, because those are the people who will literally be the fundamental core of your business,
it's your market.
whatever. Yeah, exactly. It is literally your market, and you literally work for them. Like you work for your customers. That's it. That's literally the game of business. Is rather than working for someone else who's above you on the same mission, you work for your customers who are pretty much going to be using you. Point blank.
So I love everything you just said right there. Yeah, I completely agree with it. I'm just curious too, because I told you what my stuff's going on right now. So I'm ready for that next step.
Cool.
Right? And how can I learn to take that next step? You have this experience. How can they learn with their business they're about to finish?
I think in any business there are a lot of fundamentals of how you can really think about business in terms of money. And so a business quote that I love is you have to be able to spend some to make some. And so a lot of people look for really, really, freebie options, just, something that's completely free. And that's only gonna get you so far. And I told you already, Appify, you scrape Apollo leads, you reach out by Gmail, you send out like 50 emails a day for like a month or whatever to make sure that you don't get banned. And you will be able to get some replies, then you can convert, your sales, and it's just a volume game from there. If you have money, paid ads are probably the number one thing that you can do to be able to actually scale. What's your question more specifically so that I can answer more specifically as well?
Of course. So where I am right now,
Yeah.
what do I need to be doing in terms of like what should my next step be?
Yeah.
Like, so I have an idea, and I think I
Yeah.
showed it pretty much to completion of what I know I need
Yeah.
to do and what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Where can I now make sure I'm on the right path?
Yeah. I think in general, sell before you build. So you've been building for the last 5 months, which is phenomenal. And I think you really have like the entire concept and the structure laid out. But I think in general for you and for anybody watching is start talking to people in the industry. So you need to be, if you're not already, post content, which I know you are,
Yep.
which is great. So if you're watching this, please, for the love of Christ, just post damn content. Like just please just fucking do it. Like I can't stress it enough. Just post.
Just do it.
Just
Just do it,
yeah,
dude.
just
Just
post.
do it.
Please just post, bro. Nobody's gonna know who you are if you don't post.
Of course.
Shit, like. You know who
Also-
Kaizenat is? Yeah, why? Because he posts, and because you see him all the time. It's the same thing.
It's every
same
day,
principle.
posting, yeah.
It's the same principle. These people grind and they
going,
post,
dude.
and in a world full of consumerism, the only thing that you can do is literally post. And they become a producer, and people find out who you are, etc., and you get more opportunities that lead into bigger things. And so for you right now is keep posting more, so you can always do more volume. B is look at the numbers of where you're posting. So what platform are you mainly posting on
It's
right
mainly
now?
been Instagram and TikTok.
Okay, do you have Instagram analytics and TikTok
I do,
analytics?
yeah. I have
Okay.
a business account, yeah.
Okay, cool. So in the analytics tab, if you don't have a business account, do you say it's helpful for you or no?
The analytics, I would say it's hard to tell because I've been really trying different kinds of content. I haven't
Yeah.
really found my audience yet.
Yeah.
But I talked with Bella from
Yeah.
Chalkboard
Yeah, yeah.
yesterday. She gave me actually a lot of really good advice about how I can, target my audience better.
Yeah.
And making it more broad.
Yeah.
So yeah, originally I was trying to, I think I kind of limited myself because I was going for a more niche audience and then trying to reverse it, but really I should be going for a more broad audience than niching it.
Yeah.
So
I think in general, it's a really funny concept that you mentioned because I think in general, a lot of people think that they have to target these like huge markets first.
Yeah.
You have a very niche demographic to go for, which is males between 14 and 35 who work out, at a certain rate, who actually want to have sustainable goals. So your target right now is you have Facebook groups of people working out. You have the gym. So you literally just go to people. I can actually connect you with Jack, who works in the SEU Rough Riders as well. He goes to the gym a lot. And so you just need to join online communities where people go to the gym, predominantly males, and you have to talk to them. And you're like, hey, do you use any fitness apps? And I think the key in business as well is asking their important questions. And I think in general, what you need to be doing is asking more questions to find out exactly how Virtus can help them more. Meaning, you are going to literally go to them, like an ideal scenario would go like this, like, hey, you join a Facebook group of like male adults who like go to the gym every day, or you can even join like a gym membership for like $20 a month, like literally down the street. And you can literally say, hey, I'm building this app, like I want to partner with you for free. I'm gonna give like XYZ to all your members or whatever. I just want feedback and I just want a membership here, or like $20. And so what you do is you ask questions. You say, hey, like, do you use a fitness app right now? Okay, what do you like about this fitness app? What do you not like about this fitness app? Like, would you even use it? If they don't use one, you ask them why not? Like, do you want to achieve your goals? Like, what are your goals? And so you start asking these really niche questions about the kind of product and the service that you run to be able to understand your consumer more. So right now, you obviously have your target demographic because you have your understanding of why science is important in the field of fitness, but I think a lot of people in general, they don't see it from the consumer standpoint. So you need to really show you to your consumer of why research is important. Not just a number, you're not just like playing games, kind of like Clash Royale in between sets, but you're really trying to show people that like your body is science.
Yeah.
Like literally Bryson DeChambeau, for example, if you watch any golf, is literally the mad sciences of golf.
Oh yeah.
Bryson's not gonna watch this, but imagine.
Yeah, that would be
you
funny.
Never know. Bryson, let's collab. But literally, it's just like the science of golf.
Oh, yeah, I
and
mean-
it's the same thing with like science of fitness.
And even a
it's so
bigger
important.
thing too, I want to really add on
Yeah.
to there is my whole idea, and kind of the whole, like the root idea from Virtus, which blossomed into what it is now
Yeah.
today, is I was, you know, one of my best friends, Arthur Winter, a great guy. We were on a Boy Scout camp and we were talking, we were hiking,
Yeah.
and we were saying, you know, life is a video game, how much HP would you have?
Yeah.
And kind of leading on that, I'm like, you know what, fitness, you go to the gym to be a main character.
Yeah,
You go to the gym
literally.
to build that confidence. So
Yeah.
I'm like, if you had a video game or an app
Yeah.
that literally showed you how strong of a main character you were, how much effort you were putting in, that literally showed you,
Yeah.
backed by science,
Yeah.
like it is a video game, because it
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
that would play in like in real life, your
Yeah.
real life main character, what would your stats look like, right?
What would you want your stats to look like?
Yeah,
That's the
and
thing.
then what
I
would
think
you
it's-
want them to look like?
Right, and it's
then
such an
how can it help
effort.
you
It's
get
such an
there?
effort-based thing as well. I think in general, where you're able to. It's literally just an input and output game of like the more effort you put in, the more output you're gonna get out.
yeah, 100%.
And I think from there you're able to really understand your body more because you also learn.
Oh my
Like you learn so much because it's backed by science. You have all your details. You have all your science-based research that your publications, your papers, whatever. Like all your different minute details, so you can actually work out better.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
you're literally transforming lives by
yeah.
allowing people to actually like understand what to do and when to do it and how to do it and why to do it.
Absolutely.
And I think those like 4 core pillars, when, why, how, what, are so important in actually like being able to understand what kind of business you need to be able to run in order to get your consumers. And so for you right now, your first step is 100 people that you already have reached out to, which is amazing, and make sure that they're leaving testimonials, and if they're not, ask them why not. So whether they don't want the product, if they're not using the product, they're not your target demographic.
Oh, yeah.
And it's this amazing parable of Lamborghini, where a woman goes to a pawn shop, some local community, etc., and the Lamborghini's worth different amounts of money at all these different locations.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the concept of value. And so sometimes you're just looking in the wrong place.
Yeah.
You have the right thing, it's just the wrong place. And I think in general, if you have the 100 people that who claim that they're working out, but they don't want to use your like product, for example, that just means they're not the right demographic or the right people for you. And so you can, this is why you can go into the Facebook communities and Facebook groups where you already have existing problems, because this solves a problem. Like this is the difference between a business and just like a project. Is a project just like doesn't solve a problem. It's just cool.
It's just there.
You
It's
ever
like,
look,
oh,
you ever
yeah,
look
it's
at something, you're like, yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
A business actually solves a damn problem.
Absolutely.
And so right now, what we're solving problem is a growth and being able to get this out. So Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups. Also a hack on LinkedIn. If you go into any group and you get accepted, and if you type in any letter in the search bar, it's gonna show you the owners / the CEOs of different companies. And so what you can do is join a fitness group. I'm actually gonna go on LinkedIn right now and just
Let's
show
check
you.
it out.
Let's do it. Unfortunately, you guys can't see my screen, but we're gonna do this. This is pretty sick. But we're gonna go into here. We're gonna type in fitness group. And so 29,000 members, and you go here and you click join. And it's a pending request, but once you get in, you're gonna see all these members here. So this is the one that I was doing over the summer. I joined HVAC owners group. And so what you do is you click on these, you see these admins or whatnot, you see all these people. You click show all, type in any letter, click enter, and automatically you're gonna get everyone who's like an HR executive, HR manager, like management service,
Important people.
Right? And all like CEO and all these important people.
I had a question for you, because I was thinking about this. I forgot to ask you this a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So I was talking about content, creating
Yeah.
content, creating entertaining content, and I know I'm just kind of insights over people I met here who are somehow related, like the 70-degree rule, right?
Yeah.
Who are related to people who actually post successful fitness content.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, just kind of for making content, it'd be kind of fun to call them out on not being natty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm not trying to like brag. I think I'm at the
natty?
threshold. No, I'm not. I am natty. I almost. Whoa! Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
I'm just sleepy. No, I am natty. Test me whenever you want. But I think I'm right at the threshold of actually lifting some impressive numbers.
Yeah.
So to kind of be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm natty.
Honestly,
you're not.
There's a
You can't
lot
lift
of
as much
people
as
who
me.
I know who are not natty and who claim to be natty, and so I try and call
Oh, I
them
would
out.
love to fuck with them.
Yeah.
Because I'm not shitting on this guy. He was a really nice guy, but I was at the
Yeah.
gym, and I for a reason I don't know why my inclined bench press is insane, and I was lifting like 100 pounds on dumbbells each hand, right next to him, and he was this huge like Brazilian dude just braided up, and he was like barely doing 70s. He's like, I do it for fun. I do it for fun. It's a great time. I do for fun, not serious like you. And I'm like, thank you, bro. He was chill. I'm just saying, I think content-wise, because I think I really hate people who set unrealistic standards for fitness.
Facts.
I really fucking hate it. Like,
I think in general, I
disgusts me.
think the concept of like this video as well is to really show people like we are running a business right now.
Oh yeah.
Like I do growth for people. you like have Virtus and your fitness app, and we're literally just operating a business. And like this is what it looks like. Like at its core is being able to just like break it down, talk to people. And we've been talking for like an hour and a half right now or whatever, and that's literally what it is. Just being able to simply just
Communicate.
Literally, communication is the foundation of everything.
Oh my God.
If you're not able to communicate, you are never going to be anything in life. Period. Like as simple as that. And you know, I'm taking a communication class right now. It doesn't have to be verbal. It can be nonverbal, body language, etc. How you talk, pace,
really huge.
like tone. All those things also contribute in sales and in growth in general. And so what you need to do, like I showed you, join these Facebook groups. Once you get approved, you go there, you type in a letter, and you literally just connect with everybody. And on LinkedIn, I think the average in a week, you can send out about either 200 or 250 requests, and let's say 10% of them convert. Like a lot more are going to convert in general.
Which is the lowest 10%.
Yeah, like lowest of the spectrum, and same thing for you guys, please, is 10%. So you're gonna get 25 people who accept your request. Out of those, same thing, you just message 25 people. You just message all 25 people. What I told the investment banking friend is record a Loom. So a Loom is a screen recording platform where you can record your face and the screen on the same thing, and because it stands out. How many people on LinkedIn actually send like a custom video to someone? Like nobody, exactly. And so they're gonna click on it, they're gonna see it. And the best advice is the thumbnail of your Loom is going to be their LinkedIn profile. So people are going to assume that you're saying something about them. And then you can find some common ground and be like, yo, I saw that you're in this fitness group. How long have you been working out for? Just start a conversation. Don't even sell. I think the worst part about, like, in general, from a psychology perspective, the worst thing that you can do to someone is just sell straight off the bat. And I think the first thing you have to do is just establish a rapport with people and just be like, hey, how long have you been in fitness? It's all just questions. Like sales is literally just questions.
You know, I learned from the guy who's Wolf of Wall Street.
Is
it Southern Penn? He wants to ask questions first,
exactly.
right? What I was doing yesterday at Chalkboard, which is you talk more about detail what Chalkboard is, but great organization. That when I first introduced myself, because we're all going around in a circle, I asked, who did I ask? Was it?
I think you asked Sean.
I asked Sean, what are you looking for in someone
exactly
who want to join Chalkboard? I got the idea of, okay, what is he interested in? Is he,
exactly.
How should I sell? Like when I do end up selling myself, after I've obviously established, say like, hey, I'm Thomas, like Thomas the Train, making it lighthearted and more fun, right? Is what are you even looking for in the first place? Am I going to sell myself just so you're not interested? Like, how can I appeal to you?
Of course.
Because like you said, when you are a business owner, you are working for the consumer.
Of course, and I think it's so key to make sure that you are targeting the individual. Like you can mass email people, you can still target the individual. You can mention something like with LinkedIn especially, you can find in their activities or their profile like what they did and just be like, yo, I want to learn more about this, but also like, what's your fitness like, etc. And just you can steer the like phenomenal thing about communication is you can steer it in any direction that you want. It's literally, it's so simple. I don't understand how people don't do it. It's so simple. I'm literally telling you guys how to run a business.
It's right there.
It's do it there, bro. I don't know what you're doing if you're not doing it right now. Like literally go on LinkedIn, join a group. Once you get approved, click all members, search in the bar, click any letter. It can be A. Then you're gonna have like all the executives at the top. So you literally just connect with all of them. And if you're young, this works exceptionally well. And because all these executives, all these like super important people, they remember themselves at your age, and they remember how much you hustled and how much they worked, and so that you have that like relatability as well, and they kind of see themselves in you. And again, all these executives are super like they're all like a lot of them are very successful, but they have a sense of pride and ego, which I think you absolutely need in business to an extent.
Of course.
So they have that ego.
You're your biggest self-promoter.
Of course. And they see themselves in you, and so they want to help you because it makes them feel good about themselves as well, which is phenomenal, which is a great concept. So I think that's what you should do. And I think what Young LA did actually is once they got the money, they started paying influencers. And so they started, selling drops and giving away drops to influencers to post more content to be able to give them the referral bonus and whatnot to have that referral model. In general, I don't think it's a step for you right now. I think first you need to be able to validate the market with, let's say, 1,000 users. So your goal by December is to get 1,000 users. You can be free. But the concept as well is to make sure that you have people who are using your platform. And so what you need to do is talk to every single consumer that joins your platform at one point. And so And you might think that it's unscalable, but it's funny because the unscalable things actually scale. Imagine if you go to every single consumer. This is what Stripe did in the early days. They literally had like 5 lines of code, and they would go to every single developer and they would write the 5 lines of code every single time. So Stripe is a payment processor for all the startups. Same thing with Airbnb. Ryan and his team would actually go to the houses of the hosts and take professional pictures of the house. It's unscalable. Imagine doing that for 1 million users. You can't do that. You can only do that for so many, for like 100 or whatever, or even a couple hundred. And so that's what you need to do. Is you literally just be on the phone with them and just ask so many questions that it would be unreasonable for you to not know what to do next.
Of course.
And the kind of questions you have to be asking, again, is about fitness in general. So everything you do is about your niche and your market, which is fitness, predominantly. Males 13 or like, let's say 14 to 35 in the US. Constrain yourself to one location. So that's also very important is, if you run paid ads, if you're at the stage where you run paid ads, don't run the same campaign for internationally, because every culture reacts differently to different campaigns. So don't do that because you're just wasting your money. Focus on one location, one segment, one sector, and the more niche your ICP, which is your ideal customer profile, or your avatar, the better off you're gonna be, like period. And so what you need to do is make sure that you're targeting people from 14 to 35. Where do they hang out? Social media. Maybe not Facebook groups, but LinkedIn probably, Twitter probably, Reddit probably. You're gonna have people who like deadlifting competitions or like powerlifting competitions.
That was my goal actually.
Yeah,
I'm trying to cut down to 190s, and then I want to get my squat to actually 405, bench 315, and then I'm gonna start actually competing in powerlifting.
There you go. And you can literally, and there's your power of a brand. Of you can go there, you can be like, oh, by the way, I'm not a developer, but I actually like build this tool and build this app that allows you to actually see like powerlifting and weightlifting and whatnot, and all your cardio, cardiovascular like endurance and everything, in a fun way. Not in a fun way, but also in a scientific way.
Of course.
And so you can literally like pay to win. It's literally just a pay to win because you have scientific backed research and scientific based methods that work for you. Because it would be one thing if you were just like a skinny, lanky boy who just like wouldn't be doing shit. But if you're the one who's powerlifting, you're the one who's using the app. You're the biggest promoter of it. And of course, that's what you want to do. And so those are your numbers. Talk to me about your revenue streams. So you said that it was going to be free for the first 100 people, and we figured out that it was going to be best to have that free trial. So where do you go from there?
Real quick note I wanted to make too, I think especially with like brand reputation going on that, especially like, thinking that I am someone who's always going to promote being natty. Right? I think that's really important. I think that just adds to your reputation. And then also it's like, listen, it's so popular if it is to cheat. Right?
Of course.
And that's what I hated about, I feel like all these apps are being dishonest, right? They're telling you that, oh, this is about the XP you have, this is how good you are. It's not true, right? It sets unrealistic standards. It doesn't show you. It doesn't have a cohesive way to show you this is how much you're leveling up, right? And when you don't have an understanding of how well you're actually doing, you get frustrated. You want to be huge. You want to meet your goals, and when you can't do that, it kicks the shit out of your soul, right? And I think I want to promote something that's going to be great for all people, so they don't have to resort to cheating and using steroids and hurting their bodies, right? And that's basically brand interest. But revenue streams. Back to that. That's just a thought that I had. I don't know if I tied it correctly, but anyways, revenue streams. So I don't want to get too in depth with a couple of them because, like I said, other people could use this, and especially people. I am Thomas. This is my business. This is my business team right here. Very nice to meet you. Great. I'll get together for this. So it's just me. Right. Just myself. So revenue streams, obviously ads. That's what we're gonna do because put it this way, dude. Ads. It's really easy if you're working out every day. Right. The way it's gonna basically integrate is that after you finish your workout, you hit submit workout, right? Whatever. Ad plays, and then after the ad plays, you can see the stats of your improvement. So obviously, if you care, right, you're gonna want to see that.
You're gonna wait.
You know what I mean? Either way, great ad revenue. I get money. Ad companies get money. You get to see. You get to have this app and actually experience it, which is great. So that's there, right? On top of that too, Apple, and I got to check about like Google Play, but they will pay you depending on how well your app does. And because when you think about it, on the lowest end, if you, let's say, only have time to work out 3 times a week, right? If you're going there for 30 minutes, that is still 3 times a week, 30 minutes each. That is 120, an hour and a half, 120 minutes, right? That you are using my app, right? That your app is up on your phone, that I get to see, get to analyze. Not only that, but also Apple will pay you for how many users you use and how often they use it. It's not based on obviously it's necessarily app sales, like if the app costs $5, which by the way, the app is free and it will always be free because I believe it should always be free. That information and that learning should always be free. So that is something I firmly believe in, is a big part of who I am. So back on that, right? It will be free, and the revenue streams add up. Another thing too we want to get into is battle passes, right?
Yeah, nice.
Battle passes will make more fun, more themed, right? It's kind of, I mean, I always have good memories. For me, I don't remember, you know, what I was playing when I was playing Fortnite, but buying battle passes, having exclusive, you know, skins, poses, right, for my app. I'm thinking like different like tattoos you can put on your avatar, everything, right? You know, I don't like saying all that stuff, but I like exposing too much. Right? But you know, we're almost out anyways. We're almost out. Yeah. But anyways, with that, it's gonna make revenue, right? It's gonna be a very big deal. I don't want to talk too much because the rest of them too are a lot more
internal based.
Not internal, just if I were to explain how the revenue stream works, then if anyone who has the things that I don't have right now to get it up as quick, they could just steal it. But basically I mentioned 3. I have 2 other revenue streams right now that also are going to be very, very useful and just really solidify Virtus as a whole. But yeah, that's where we're at.
Awesome. And so are you planning on using that, how are you planning on using that capital to then reinvest back into the business? So you're going to be running more paid ads, for example, for your app?
Well, a lot of the revenue streams that I didn't talk about, which I mean, obviously, you know, I want to keep some for myself.
Sure.
I want to, you know, from any of my competitors to listen to this. You know, but I will tell you what, even with what I've said so far, I'm still kicking your ass. Because the way those other revenue streams work is inherently making those agreements that I'll be making. It will just build brand reputation that much better, right? It's going to really allow for so much more growth. And it's really something I can only do at the later stages, but really, honestly, it was going to be amazing. It's going to take off, and it will just crush the competition, absolutely decimate it. You know, a good, I think it was Art of War, is crush your enemy entirely.
Like literally.
And this
Larry
strategy,
Ellison firmly believes that being number 1 is not enough. You have to destroy everybody else. You have to make sure that everybody else loses.
Either join me and humbly join my team. I would love it. Or I'm crushing you.
Like literally.
Disrespectfully get fucked. Respectfully. Have fun losing. But that's where I'm heading. And I'll tell you off camera what the ideas are with that. Sure.
Well, awesome. Dude, I think we've pretty much covered everything. I think you know exactly what to do until December.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know that we're going to talk in more depth as well about the additional revenue streams and how we're going to use that. But in short, if you're a business and you want to be able to scale, I'm going to have a link in bio. You can schedule a call, discovery call, and I would love to help you grow. And just like I did with Thomas, we're going to make sure that we tap in back with the results in the next 4 months. Being able to really just think about how to make more money in short amounts of time to be able to use that capital to get more customers, and then that's your scale. That is literally what scaling is. It's being able to lower your CAC, which is your customer acquisition cost, in shorter amount of time, in half the time, and provide double the value repeatedly at scale to millions of people from zero. And you can do that today and now by installing these things called money models. So, Thomas, thanks a lot for being here.
Thank you, man.
This was really, really fun.
Great time.
And we'll see you next time.
All right,
cool. Or we can just edit out because I don't know how to fucking stop this camera. Dude, this has been dope. This is really fun, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm having a great time. How do we, I think I'm not trying to get it. I think I might know how to do it. Oh, scheiße. That was good. We gotta keep doing that, man.
Yeah, dude, we got a lot done. Hell yes, bro.
Let me see. We'll just leave it recording, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, revenue streams.
Let's talk about the revenue streams.
I don't know how to shut up this thing, but it's fine, because we'll just edit this out.
I'm not editing it. No, I'm kidding.
I will kill you. Alright, so I'm right out. I like writing things out. Well, we have...
Motherfucker, dude.
Alright, so here's how it's gonna work. So there's a lot of overlap here, right? So here's the thing is, I obviously, why I want it to be free is because also I'm thinking about to myself, who I am. I wish I would have had something like this when I was first starting fitness. So free, you got ads, right? Then you got consistent use, right?
So that's advertisement companies that are paying to be on your platform.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. So I mean, that's a very big market too, by the way.
Yeah.
Then we have one time. So what this could look like is we have, for example, I think you've seen right now, I'll show you real quick. So here's the shop, right? These are all the different things you can add, which, like I said, change how you're graded. You have bodybuilding, you can apply that. Apply. No, where is it? And it shows it right there, right?
Cool. Yeah.
So then it grades everything. Next, look at this, so 200 for, let's say 3. It'll show you how impressive your lift is, right?
Okay, dope.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which needs to be fixed. I think that's wrong right now.
Yeah.
But anyways, it can be fixed. So one-time purchases are like, for example, access to.
We stopped recording, by the way. As in, like, we want to stop recording, but we don't know how to fucking click stop.